We're up and running. Welcome to the return of 41, aka we're just back. Alright, this live stream just got taken down. We're just back on the second account. For reasons we will not get into. This looks amazing. It's the P car. Anyways. I forgot I was gold 3. Warm up, I guess. I don't have anyone to duo with right now. So, good chance we're just going to run ones. That is if, whatchamacallit permits us. Internet lets us. Uh-oh. I missed automatically. Ah. Teammate's not here. It's always fun. Big Papa, huge time. You know what, I have an idea, actually. My entire sock is now ripped open. It's always fun. Just like this game. Alright, well I guess since we're here, let's go story time. I need to get better. Better at what, you may say? I'm a youth basketball coach, and I want to get better at what I do. I've had 2 pretty unsuccessful seasons. First season, obviously, probably wasn't going to be the greatest. First time ever coaching. I drafted, a bunch of kids I didn't know. And, it's your first time doing it, so you're trying to figure out, how to go about it. It's my second time. It's a shortened season because we were in the summer and we only got 1 practice a week, and we would have 1 to 2 games every weekend. Now I know the ratio isn't there, and it can be tough sometimes trying to teach children things in such a short period of time. Okay. And so that's why it was hard. I had 2 kids who never played, 3 kids from not that great of a team in the winter, but they had all played together. And what I have. 2 kids that came from a division lower with lowered rims and smaller balls and all that. A kid from my winter team, and the best girl in the entire league. Mind you, this was a co-ed league. Straight in there, goodness. So it's hard trying to figure out, you know, trying to figure out how to go about it, especially since it's a new group of kids and plus that predicament. Game 1, we got blown out by the best team, which we didn't know was the best team, but ended up being the best team. And so, obviously, morale gets a little lower. We're like, it's the best team. We just lost, by 22 points, something like that. Going to week 2. Like, okay, these are both games I feel like we could win, based off of how I saw my team. That we could win. After game 1, I had like a huge mental note session. Not mental. I just got a big whiteboard and just started drawing out everything that was, I wouldn't say wrong, but everything I wanted to try to do. So, wrote down every single kid, what I saw from them, what I knew from them, what we could do. So I tried to start implementing that in practice, and it worked out decent. Definitely would say decent. Still not the best, because mind you, it was a summer league, so you're trying to get kids involved, trying to get them to pay attention, even though it's the summer. They'd rather do 10 other things than play basketball. Most of them, at least. Other kids maybe getting ready for other sports. Oh, he hit that. He went for the double tap. So just trying to get them to pay attention. Get them to lock in, really. So second week comes, we're missing what ended up being one of our better players, a guy who's much better at rebounding than the rest of the team. Miss him. First game we lose because we go down like 14-4 in the first half. End up losing the game like, was it 10-16? So we outscored them in that second half. Per usual, my team was a lot of fourth quarter guys and girls, I should say. And lose game 1. Game 2 comes against what would be the worst team, and we end up going into overtime. The team ran man defense on us, and had to try to traverse that. We didn't really have a lot of scorers, if that made any sense. Didn't have a lot of people that could, put the ball in the hole. And I tried working on that with them, tried to get them entertained in practice with like different competitions, games. Try to teach them how to rebound, because I know I wouldn't say they didn't understand, but they weren't trying. Just try to put things on the line, like, hey, if you lose this drill, you have to go run 3 times. Just stuff like that. And it would work for some kids. Some kids would buy in and be like, oh yeah, let's go. So in the winter it worked great. I know not every team is the same, obviously. And but there are some kids that would just refuse to go. refused to run, things like that. And so we'd have to keep running until they decided to run because they just wouldn't run. So that was the upsetting thing. So yeah, a lot of what the second half of the season was. So we go into week 3. Week 3, we see a lot of week 3 games. Get in there. We get killed both games. Game 1, you know, again, we start having decent little moments. I think we lose like 18-7. Team had some bigger kids, and, you know, we weren't, I wouldn't say locking in, but we weren't buying in early enough in that game. Ended up paying the price for it. Game, what is this? The next game, play against one of my old players from the winter that I didn't see on the draft board, because mind you, we drafted the entire team. And I didn't see him on the draft board, and as soon as I got my new team, I was like, ooh, this may be bad. This, because he's fast, he's athletic, and he will run you in the ground. And so, it was him, kids coming off of a loss, and we ended up getting beat 36-5. Literally, they would get a rebound or a stop or something, and within a millisecond, he is down court, already trying to go score. Missed a lot of chances in that game too to stop him from scoring, and like just missing rebounds because he missed shots. It's not like he was shooting perfect. And just a bad game. Wasn't much we could do. I tried my hardest to get them to understand. A lot of things with youth basketball is you tell them you can know how to do something, but teaching them is a completely different thing. You try to show them how to do something, but teaching them, getting them to fully understand what's going on is a completely different thing. And that's something I've had to try to learn. Because someone like me, I'm a very visual learner. I like to see what I have to do, let me run through it, and go from there. Some other kids, it's not like that. Sometimes you have to try to show them, but they still don't understand. So, you know, you're just running back and forth with your own mind, like, well, how do I teach you what I need to teach you to learn? Mind you, a lot of my kids were on a lower level in comparison to, I would say, what the rest of the league was. I had a good amount of kids that weren't exactly, you know, just as good. And that's okay. Because it's my job to try to teach them, show them what we need, what I want them to do. And especially just with times with kids trying to pay attention and play the game. Especially with a lot of times, like, some kids wouldn't pay attention. You know, other kids would slow down practice almost. This guy's saving my butt right now. I got a touch there. Save. I don't have a no problem here, so I can't tell him it's okay. We'll talk about it after this game. I hope this guy knows it's okay. I'm not mad at him or anything. Sure, both of them were being a little two-faced earlier, but no, it's okay. It's Rocket League. It's a video game. These guys are weird. I'm not going to rematch. Leave them to that. So yeah, we're just trying to get things situated, learning. Last practice, we're missing like 3 kids. It's to that point in the season where kids are quitting and they maybe don't want to play and things like that. My biggest fear was if we start getting beat badly, would kids just stop coming? Would they just stop coming to the games? I can't believe I just saw that on my Instagram. And I think that eventually did start happening. We had some behavior issues. 2 kids, they just would not care. Just go and 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 go. And you have to just try to calm them down. Say, hey man, don't stop. Just stop. Other kids were just, breaths of fresh air. And I think something I needed to learn was, I think I learned it, and I'm just kind of upset with myself right now, is I didn't put in the kids that, the ones that behaved. And the ones that behaved, the ones that were good kids, that weren't just butts, And because this last game, we're losing like 13-0, something like that. And it's going into the 4th, and all of a sudden we score 6 unanswered. I put in a group of kids because I'm like, we can still win this game in my mind. And I had 3 kids on the bench. 1 kid who's never played, but he's gotten somewhat better. I just didn't think he already had 2 fouls that game, and he was shoving a few kids. He had pushed kids because he wasn't staying in front of them. We had another kid do the same, but that kid knew how to dribble. I was like, maybe I'll keep him in. Another kid who he gets on offense, he doesn't know what he's doing. He just kind of sits there with his hands up in the air. And I try to tell him specifically, I'm like, hey man, run to the corner. If it's open, get to the corner. Because right there, you need to go help that person who has the ball, who's maybe getting double teamed, because our kids like to just run into a pack of 2 people. And it makes me wonder sometimes if I'm qualified to even do this, because there are things I struggled with as a player. That I wasn't never the most experienced with. I wasn't a person who always had the ball in my hand. But I knew the simple things of what I needed to do. It's just I wasn't as experienced. Even though I played every year, I wasn't as experienced because I wasn't put in the same position as a lot of other kids. I would just kind of get shoved at the bottom and just say, hey, go get a rebound, or, go stop their 6'10" center. I'd be like, that's kind of crummy. Well, I'm 5'9". Why can't I go learn how to do this? No, you're too far back. And it's like, man, I still have time. I'm a sophomore. But you know how it goes. Sometimes that's something I've always wanted to do. If I ever get to coach a team, I would like for everyone to learn the same things. Well, I want everyone to learn how to play every position, how to, dribble in these kinds of ways, how to do a dribble pass by. And it makes me wonder if, am I a personal coach? Like, am I a trainer? Am I not really a coach who handles games? And maybe that is the case. Try to think of future occupations. What I want to do in the future. What I can do. And sometimes you don't know. And sometimes I don't know exactly where the Lord's leading me, where I'm going to be. So just trying to learn. Trying to understand. I should have put in those kids, though, in that games. The kids that were acting up were still in the game. I did last week. I put them in because we're getting beat so badly, and I was like, let me get these kids experience. And I feel like we had a chance to win the last game, but we didn't. They started pressing, too, and I was like, it's just going to turn into a bloodbath in 2 minutes. I tried. Sometimes I'm hard on myself because I feel like I could be better. I don't want to be looked at as a bad coach or looked at as a mediocre coach. I want to be the best I can be. And, maybe sometimes the best that you are isn't, good. Maybe some things, you're just not meant to do. But I said to myself, I have one kid waiting for me. I have a kid waiting for me up at 12U. One of my old winter kids has been asking to people in my family to tell me to pick him, tell me please to coach. Ask my mother 3 or 4 times. She's asking him, please. I'm gonna do it for him. Parts of me that would love to still help some of these kids on my team right now back in 10U, especially because I think it's gonna get a lot easier. Some of these, teams with kids who are pretty good, or they're up there in age, not exactly 10 years old. Makes you wonder, but I'm gonna try to help these kids get ready for junior high basketball. So it makes you wonder, what can I work on? In the winter, we'll get 2 practices a week. Leading up to the first game, we will have 4 practices, hopefully. And, yeah, gonna just try our hardest 12 use a different speed. It's a different game. There's a lot more running involved. 10U's not exactly the same. There still is a lot of running in 10U, but not the same kind of running, if that makes any sense. So the question for me is now, if I'm doing this, which I'm pretty certain I am, what do I need to do to be ready? Ready to take this challenge on of being in a new division with kids who are going to be much older. Much, much older. Going to have a new roster of kids besides what I'm thinking is 3 kids. So I think number one is I need to teach them to pass more. Teach them to make sharp passes. And not just the basic passing lines where 2 kids are passing to each other for 5 minutes, but drills, interactive drills to make them to run and pass and create on the fly. Now, how do I get them to create is the question. Because in my mind, it's like a game of 2K. The game 2K, you see everything. It's not just through one person's eye. It's through, you see the entire court, what other teams are doing. Depending on your difficulty, they'll sniff out your passes and steal it from you. You have to take smarter shots. You have to just be smarter. Truthfully. Otherwise you get, sucked up and spit out. So how can I get them to create? There are drills that are hard to explain to some kids where they don't exactly know what's going on. Because one part of the team's like, what's going on? And other part's like, I got this perfectly. It's like, great, you got it down perfectly. But, this kid over here has legitimately no clue where he is on Earth right now. You put in a weird position like that, and the team suffers. So I need to make my drills simpler, I would say. Make it to where everyone knows what's going on. They know what I want, and then make it fun. Because at the end of the day, this is a fun thing. Some of these kids won't ever play again. Some of these kids are not going to go try out for their junior high basketball teams. They're just going to, play through the city, and, call it. They're going to go do other things in life. Some of them will be football players, and some of them will be basketball players. Some of them will play baseball. Not every single person is determined to play basketball. It can be a difficult sport at times, especially to watch and live through. I would know. Passing. I tried to do a drill where it was a 2-on-1 drill. I needed to pass, just sharp passes, 3-man weave. I think it's time. Can I teach them 3-man weave and just get them to do that? Okay. Things like the 3-man weave. 3-on-2, 2-on-1. 12U, that's really good drill to have. It's a fun drill, competitive drill, and it's one that could be used. A lot of the drills I come up with are not super creative because there's things I did before in my life. There are other times I try to create my own drills and see what I can do there. I need a piece of paper, don't I? Is this a notebook? It is. Alright. I think it's time to start writing. Alright. What we learned from 10U summer. I misspelled summer. Goodness. 3-8, 1-5. There are a lot of games in that 3-8 team where we should have won. Came on way too late. So, let's ask the question, what did I learn? If you ask the question, what did I learn? Passing, rebounding, make easy shots.